I'm gonna list off. I believe I have seven names in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them you might think no way. Others you might think yes. Here are the seven names: Stanley Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Norris,
Mm-hmm.
Henry Ellenson,
Mm-hmm.
Amir Abdullah,
Mm-hmm.
Tease Tabor,
Mm-hmm.
Jared Davis, Dylan Larkin. Which one of those young Detroit players are you most disappointed in their development?
Wow.
Obviously, the same question's coming at you. And you might want to go off the board. Come up with your own. But these guys are all, I think in Norris's case, third year or less in Detroit.
Okay. You know what? Stanley Johnson.
All right.
And the reason I say that is I just kind of expected more from him. I saw him coming up, his last year at Arizona, saw him go through the draft process, and I thought, this is a guy who's going to take over that position, and he is going to be a small forward that the Pistons can lean on for some time to come. And I just haven't seen that yet.
All-around game. I saw it too. All-around game. He can impact the game in so many ways.
Yes, and I just haven't seen that on a consistent basis in the games that I've seen watching the Pistons. So on that list, I would say Stanley Johnson's the most disappointing of the seven you named.
All right. And Gator, same question to you. And you can go off the board, too, if you want.
No, I think Tony's got a good one there because I agree he's been disappointing. I think all these names have been kind of disappointing.
I don't know if I'd go Larkin. I think
the way Larkin he's had a bounce back year. I'll agree with that to a point. He's not scoring goals like he looked like he was going to score goals his rookie season, but he's certainly made himself a better all-around player. So for that, I'll take your point. For me, it's Daniel Norris. This was the centerpiece in the trade of David Price, and if you're going to trade some of the caliber of David Price, you expect the piece you get back to be really good. And it's not that he doesn't have time to still be really good, but as the centerpiece of that trade, he hasn't been. And the Tigers need him to be really good to turn things around quickly.
248-539-9797. For me, it's probably Amir Abdullah.
Yeah, I can see that one too.
And the thing about it is, I think I had high expectations for Stanley Johnson. I had high expectations for Daniel Norris. And yet I feel like Amir Abdullah is coming up the most short of what I expected. Now, maybe that's not fair to me, but I might also be overplaying the card a little bit because I feel like if he emerged, he'd be the guy that could help a team the most.
Agreed.
Like if Amir Abdullah were what I expected, it would make the biggest difference as opposed to anybody else. So 248-539-9797, ticket text 97136. You can throw somebody else out there if you want. So if you want to go off the board, and we will definitely get more of your opinions in on that. It's Karsch and Anderson, open lines. Gator, I mentioned before the break one of two stories. You want the dog story or me getting called out in public?
Well, I want them both, but why don't we go with you getting called out in public because I don't know that one.
Okay.
It's totally selfish for me because I don't know this one.
Yesterday, I'm walking with my daughter, and we're in a conversation, and it's like serious, but it's 12-year-old, so it's not like that serious. But we're in a conversation, and I walk through a door. We're actually at the mall. And so as we walk out, it's the double doors. Like you go through one set and then you go through another set to get out. You know what I mean? And I walked through the first one, and I'm in this conversation with her, and it's as intense as a conversation with a 12-year-old can be. And we get through the first door, and I go to open up the second door, and I hear, oh! And I turn and look, and there's a woman.
You didn't hold the door open, and she got clocked?
I didn't hold the door open.
Yeah.
Now, there's two things about this. One is this is one of those slow, most doors are. It close very slow. I want to point that out as a matter of fact. But I didn't notice the woman when I was walking through the first set of doors.
No, because you're completely absorbed in the conversation you were having with your 12-year-old daughter.
So I hold the door for the second door, and she looks at me and says,
I can't wait.
I guess I'm invisible. Now, I'm holding the door for her. My daughter's standing right there, and she says that. And I say, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I apologize. And she takes about 5 or 6 steps. She turns around and fires again at me. When you get older, you're invisible. And keeps walking.
Oh, did you say anything back to her?
I didn't know what to say.
Oh, it would have been fun, man. That's when you can launch into it. Say, hey, lady, I apologize the first time because I didn't see you at the door. When I realized I made my mistake, I corrected the mistake by opening the door and holding it for you the second time. You're not invisible. You're just flat out rude.
Well, the funny thing, and so I thought about, now she's walking 5 steps ahead of us, all the way to the car, and she's in the same aisle.
Perfect.
So we're following, and so it's running through my mind, all the things I could say. Mm-hmm. And I decided not to say anything.
It was too late at that point.
No, it wasn't. But here's why I decided not to say anything. I don't think she was very happy. And I don't think anything snarky or anything I could say I was going to make a person who wasn't very happy feel worse. And so I made the conscious decision over the next 25 to 30 seconds not to fire back with anything. But my daughter the whole time looked like she wanted to burst out laughing. She thought it was the greatest thing ever.
That you got called out.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, the conversation I was having with my daughter, she wasn't happy with me. So she loved every minute of this. So we get in the car, and she starts to laugh out loud. And I said, honey, I don't think that woman was very happy. And by the way, I don't think she was particularly old either. But
Lady, you're not old enough to be invisible. Come on. I just would completely ignored you. It's not that you were invisible. You're so far out of my list of priorities. You just don't matter to me at this point.
Yeah, I decided not to do any of that.
Well, I mean, you were in the wrong because you should always hold the door open when you go through it. Even if whether or not you know somebody's there or not, I always hold the door open and look behind me. If nobody's there, then keep going. But that's why I'm better than you.
Thank you. It's good to have your support on this one.
No, you did look, if you screwed up by the first door, you didn't hold it open and she
and you know
like, oh no, did I just I'm really sorry.
I didn't slam a door on anyone. It was just, it slowly closed, and I think she had to put her hand up. And
being at her old and frail stage of life, she was unable to hold it back before it squashed her.
She wasn't old nor frail. That's what I didn't get about it. I didn't get a lot about it. Like, I don't think you're obligated to hold the door.
She was just she was having a bad day.
Yes, but are you obligated to hold the door?
Yes.
Obligated 100% of the time. You hold the door for somebody behind you.
I think so.
Okay.
If they're within a reasonable distance.
Okay. I didn't see her at all.
No, because you didn't. Because it's not your practice to go through the door and hold the door open right away. Your practice is apparently just going to go through the door unless I see somebody in my peripheral vision.
Actually, the irony is I held the door for my daughter. But I was
You held the door for your daughter and you didn't look back to see if anybody else is coming through?
I didn't see her coming. And it was...
Maybe it is true. When you get older, you get invisible.
She's invisible, yeah. Anyway, so...
I'm looking forward to the dog story, though, because I only know part of it.
No, 248. We'll get to that later. 248-539-9797. Kang, which young player in Detroit that we were mentioning earlier, which one disappoints you the most?
Mine is Dylan Larkin.
Really?
I just expected more. I'm kind of like Gator. I'm not saying the guy's awful. I'm not saying that. He's bouncing back from last year. But after that rookie season, and he was a first-round pick, I expected him to be the all-star representative for... Do you guys remember when he won the all-star competition for the fastest skater?
Yeah.
I made that bold prediction.
Which was what?
He'd be like the next captain for years to come, the next, Fedorov, Yzerman-type player. Yeah, that's falling a little short right now. So personally, for me,
he's going to have a career
better.
high in points this year.
That's great, but he's going to be half the goal. He's on pace for half the goal total that he had his rookie season.
I bet he surpasses. I don't know if he surpasses his rookie season goals.
We had 23 goals his rookie year, and most of those came in the first half of the season. Then he kind of disappeared the second half. He's got 6 right now.
Yeah, I expected goal scoring from Dylan.
I like the 34 points in 41 games, and I think he's definitely a more rounded player than what he was when he first came in the league. It was all offense, offense, offense. And yes, I do think that teams pay attention to Dylan Larkin when he's on the ice more so than they did the first half of his rookie season. He's had to adjust to it. But 6 goals halfway through the season, this is a drop-off like Nyquist and Tatar. It's the same thing.
248-539-9797.